Hello friends, how are you all? I hope you are revising very well and giving GTs regularly. If you are giving GTs regularly, that's great friends. It doesn't matter what are your scores or what is your rank, is it improving or not, we will discuss it about soon. But the very first step is to give a GT. If you have not given any GT yet, I insist you to give it as soon as possible. People always ask for important topics or subjects. The most important topics, friends, or subject are those that you are weak in, because by working on those topics or subjects, you are going to see progress in your GTs and actual exam. So the question is how to identify those topics. Simple answer is by giving GT and and analyzing it thoroughly. So friends, let's discuss why we should give GT. The first thing is to sit for 3 hours. It's very difficult, I can understand. So to for to do this, you have to practice this many times. So by giving GT and sitting continuously for 3 hours, you will get used to it. So it's very crucial to give GT for this. The second thing is it makes you feel like a real exam. Friends, by solving MCQ and via QBank, it's different from real exam. In QBank, you know the topic, so most of the time it will be easy to answer the question. But in GT, you have to see the question in unbiased way. You will not be knowing the topic or subjects. So by giving GT, you will feel a real exam. The third thing is that you will identify your weak areas objectively. What I want to say is that many times we think that any XYZ subject is weak and any XYZ subject is strong, but it's not that way. What we do is that when we were in MBBS, there will be some subject or topic that we find it very difficult to understand or to remember. For example, let me give you an example that when I was in MBBS, biochemistry was very tough for me. I used to read it many times, but eventually I forget everything. So I was reading biochemistry multiple times during my NEET preparation. But whenever I used to give GT, I almost always score a good mark in biochemistry. Like I was in a medium or a strong, so it was not that weak for me. But so when I gave GT, I found out that it was not that weak. And I have to focus on other subjects that was not very strong. For example, physiology. I used to feel that physiology is very strong subject for me, but after giving GT, I found out that there are many topics that I was not familiar with, or I just could not remember the things. So by doing this, you objectively find out that what is weak, what areas are weak for you. On the day of the exam, what is tested is how many questions you can solve with a limited amount of knowledge. It doesn't really matter that how many books you have read if you cannot apply the knowledge. So friends, let's discuss what you should do while analyzing your GT. So I want to focus on the three main things when you analyze the GT. The first is the time management, the second is incorrect questions, and the third is correct question but you had guessed. So let's start with time management. So if you struggle with time, I mean you if you cannot complete the whole GT in a given time, you should give as many GT as possible, and you should develop some strategies. Like everyone has a different strategy. You may first mark all the questions in which you are confident, and then those in which you are confused, or some prefer to go from first to the last question in a flow. You will get to know with practice that what suits for you. But if you are still confused, I would advise you to go from question 1 to last and mark the answer at the same time, because friends, the question will remain the same, and if you don't know the answer, in a very less likely that you will recall it later. It will just waste your another minute or two by read it again and again. So friends, now look at the incorrect questions. We can divide this incorrect question in a few categories, like the question was incorrect due to a silly mistakes, or due to a fact base which you don't recall, or it was a concept base, or it was out of syllabus. So friends, to avoid the silly mistakes, focus on the words like all except, which option is not incorrect, none of the above, etc. Believe me friends, if you are confident that you have read all the question properly, there will be 2 or 3 questions like this that you miss to read these tricky words, because our concentration doesn't remain the same for 3 hours. So you have to practice friends. Friends, believe me, these 2 or 3 questions can be rank deciding. If I had marked 1 or 3 questions wrong, I would not be able to sit in the BJ Medical College. These 2 or 3 questions can change your branch or your dream college. So first try to understand the question and then think the answer before looking the option. If the question was fact based and you could not recall on the exam or on the GT, friends, make a list of those facts and try to make a sticky notes and put it on your wall. You should read those notes when you wake up or before your lunch or after dinner or before going to sleep. Any time of the day you can revise them. Okay, and the third category is the conceptual question. Friends, read those concept again, or watch the video, or ask someone who knows better than you those topic to explain you. Friends, you have to learn those concept anyhow because you are likely to mark them wrong in the exam, or this type of question can be very tricky in exam and it can be difficult to solve. And the last category is, friend, if the question was out of the syllabus. So friends, you have to check whether it was in the previous question or was it a recent advanced base. If not, then don't bother much about it, just leave it. If you find a particular subject constantly weak, give a subject test. The whole subject might not be weak, but some topics that you have to learn, this can be evaluated or identified by giving the subjective test. uh, Friends, I would strongly suggest you to make custom modules of your weak topics. Make a habit to solve at least 20 MCQs as soon as you wake up in your bed in morning. Gradually doing this every day, you will yourself mastering those topics. So friends, there is always a question, especially when you are confused between two options when you review the GT, that should I change the answer? So friends, there is not a definitive answer for this. You have to work yourself. What I want to say is that give some GTs in which you change the answer, and some GTs don't change the answer, and review them and mark it as a guest answer and then review them. Find it yourself what works best for you. So, and friends, don't make things complicated or over analyze it. Keep it simple, just give a GT, analyze what went wrong or which topics or which subjects are weak, and just revise them. So friend, that's all what I wanted to say. If you have any doubt, comment and we will talk there, and see you in the next video. Thank you.